Eric, the heated debate over a community center and mosque that's planned to be built near Ground Zero showing no signs of cooling off. Oh, no. This week alone, we heard from plenty of heavy hitters on both sides of the debate. Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich weighing in, former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin, and New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Members of Congress getting involved, too. Joining me now, ranking member of the House Homeland Security Committee, New York Congressman Peter King. He is asking for a full investigation into both the financing of this mosque and into the background of the imam that plans to take it over. Congressman, good morning. Thanks for joining us here.
Great to be with you.
We appreciate it. You are asking for an investigation into the imam, but you also want to know about the financing. Do you have any evidence to suggest that the money used would be tied to terrorism?
I want that money explored completely as to where it's coming from, who's putting up this kind of money. Because this really, to me, is so insensitive, having this mosque here now. I realize legally it's very difficult to stop it, but if enough public opinion can be raised, and we can show that there are questions behind it, that could cause the people behind the mosque to pull away. That's what I'm hoping for.
I understand many of your constituents feel that way, but the point being made by Daisy Khan, who's the wife of the imam who would be in charge, is that it's perfect to have a place there, a multicultural center that would teach people about peaceful members of the Muslim faith. Why not?
First of all, there's no real evidence that these are peaceful members of the Muslim faith. And why does it have to be within walking distance of Ground Zero, literally in the shadow of the former World Trade Center? And to me, before we allow something like this, which I think could be a public relations coup for extremist elements in the Muslim community, before we allow it to go forward, at least before we give it our approval, let's get the full background. For instance, the imam, who claims to be such a moderate. I mean, after 9/11, he was on national television saying that the blame could be with the U.S. We have the fact that this same imam to this day refuses to say whether or not Hamas is a terrorist group. And we have enough questions about other mosques in the New York area.
But not everybody agrees. The mayor of New York is in favor of this. Andrew Cuomo, the attorney general, is in favor of this. So if you have no direct evidence that they are extremists or that the money is tied to terrorism, why demand an investigation?
Because that's how you find out. The fact is, there are enough questions here. When you have the imam, who was supposed to be this great moderate, saying, refuses to say if Hamas is terrorist, he's on television after 9/11 saying the U.S. could have been at fault. He was also on the board of the group that led the flotilla into Gaza. So this, to me, he's not what he appears to be, or he's not. He claims to be one thing and appears to be something else. So let's have this investigation. We owe it to the families. We owe it to. I have more than 150 neighbors, friends, constituents who were killed on September 11th. I see these families every day.
What if it's located someplace else? We know there are hundreds of mosques in New York State alone. What if they go someplace other than Ground Zero? Would you have the same concerns?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yes. Well, first of all, there's always concern. I believe that because of such a number of mosques under surveillance, there's always a certain concern. On the other hand, there's hundreds of mosques. You can't stop mosques from being constructed, and we shouldn't. But no, I think there's an extra level of sensitivity involved when it's in the area of Ground Zero, right near the World Trade Center. This is a sui generis. This is a different type situation, and it demands different type treatment.
I guess, though, if we do this for a mosque, would we have to, for any religious organization building, do we have to expand our thinking and also our closer examination with respect to other religious institutions? There are many who are peaceful Muslims who would say it's discriminatory.
Yeah, again, that's only if we have a moral equivalency. I'm saying here, the fact is right now we are threatened by Islamist terrorism. We're not being threatened by the Catholic Church or Jews or Protestants or Hindus. The fact is right now that we are threatened by Islamic terrorism, and there's a history of mosques being involved with Islamic terrorism, and we owe it to the relatives of those people who were killed to do a full investigation.
Okay, say peaceful people come in and build a mosque near Ground Zero and you have no grounds to stop it. How do you monitor what happens from there? New York's counterterrorism, FBI, does it have to reach Congress, or can it be handled on a local level?
Well, I have ultimate faith in Commissioner Kelly and the NYPD, the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force here in New York. These are the best in the country. But again, this is an added burden that we're giving to them. But no, if the mosque is there, then I would let Commissioner Kelly and the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force do what they have to do, and let's not be too worried about political correctness.
All right. There's a lot of politicians involved on this, and you are asking for this investigation. Others say it should go ahead. Fair and balanced. That's how we do it here. Thank you, Congressman,
Jamie,
so much.
Thank you. Great.
Nice to see you. Eric?
Thank you, Jamie.